You replay the same conversation again and again, as if it might change if you listen closely enough. You hear your own words back, the pause, the tone. You wonder if they noticed something you didn't mean to show. Later, you imagine what you should have said, how it could have gone differently, how one sentence might have shifted everything. You run through arguments in your head, full conversations that never happened, but somehow feel unfinished. Your mind stays a few steps ahead, quietly scanning what could go wrong, what you should be ready for, what you'll do if things turn. And even when nothing is happening, your thoughts don't slow down. They've been doing this for a long time. At first, you thought it was just how you were. At some point, you started feeling embarrassed about it, like there was something wrong with the way your mind works. People told you you're too much, too sensitive, too cautious, that you think too hard about things that don't matter. So you learn to keep it quiet. You stopped saying what you were really thinking. You nodded, smiled, and told yourself you'd figure it out later. You watch other people decide quickly, speak confidently, move on without looking back, and you wonder how they do it so easily. Meanwhile, you're still in your head, double-checking everything, second-guessing yourself, feeling slow, or behind, or just different. You tell yourself you should be better by now, more decisive, more relaxed, more like everyone else seems to be. And the worst part isn't the thinking itself. It's the quiet belief that you shouldn't be like this. That if you were stronger or smarter or calmer, your mind wouldn't do this to you. People started saying things like, "You're just too sensitive. You think too much. You need to relax." And after hearing it enough times, you stopped questioning it. You assumed the problem was you, that your mind was doing something unnecessary, something excessive, something you should turn off. So you tried. You tried to be calmer, more laid back, less aware. But it never really worked, because this wasn't a bad habit. It was a system. At some point, your environment wasn't predictable, not dangerous, not dramatic, just inconsistent. So you learned to watch closely. You learned to read tone, to notice shifts, to sense when something was about to change. Thinking ahead made things smoother, safer. Not because anyone told you to do it, but because it worked. Your mind learned early that paying attention wasn't extra, it was useful. And once a system keeps you safe, it doesn't disappear just because you're older. By now, you might be wondering why this pattern feels so automatic, why it shows up before you even realize it's happening. That's because it doesn't live in your thoughts. It lives underneath them. Your body learned to stay alert, not tense, not panicked, just ready to notice changes, ready to catch subtle shifts, ready to respond before things went wrong. So your attention sharpened. You started picking up on small details other people missed. A pause in someone's voice, a look that lingered a second too long, a feeling that something was off, even if you couldn't explain why. This wasn't anxiety, it was precision. Your system wasn't trying to overwhelm you, it was trying to protect you. And once your body learns that being alert keeps things stable, it doesn't wait for permission. It just keeps doing its job. Here's where this usually gets misunderstood. People hear this and assume you're being told your overthinking is a gift, a superpower, something to celebrate. That's not quite true. This trait wasn't built to make you confident. It was built to keep you safe. That's an important difference. Your mind learned to scan ahead, not to impress anyone, not to get ahead in life, but to reduce uncertainty, to lower risk, to avoid surprises. And that ability to notice patterns, anticipate outcomes, connect dots, is real. But it comes with a cost, because a system designed for protection doesn't know when to rest. It keeps watching, keeps preparing, keeps running scenarios, even when nothing is wrong. And that's why this feels exhausting now. Not because it's broken, but because it's still operating by old rules. So, why does something that once kept you steady now leave you drained? Because the environment changed, but the system didn't get the memo. Back then, being alert helped you adapt. It helped you stay ahead of emotional shifts. It helped you avoid moments that felt unpredictable or unsafe. Thinking ahead worked, but adulthood asks something different. Now, there are more variables, more decisions, more expectations, and your system treats all of it as equally important. Every email feels urgent. Every conversation feels loaded. Every choice feels like it carries long-term consequences. So the same mechanism that once protected you now runs non-stop. Not because you're weak, but because the world no longer gives clear signals about when it's safe to stand down. Your body is still guarding a smaller room while living in a much bigger one, and that's where the exhaustion comes from. Here's the shift that actually helps. You don't stop overthinking by trying to control your mind. You stop by teaching your system what safety feels like now. Not control, safety. Not suppression, awareness. The goal isn't to silence your thoughts. It's to let your body learn that not every moment needs protection. Rest isn't laziness here. It's retraining. And when you start seeing this pattern for what it really is, an old skill still trying to help, something softens. You're not broken. You never were. If this felt familiar, you're not alone in it. And sometimes, simply understanding the pattern is the first moment your system finally exhales. If you want more conversations like this, not fixes, not labels, just clarity that lets your mind breathe, stay here.